Welcome to just kind of a bonus episode of Art with Michel-Paul. Today we're going to talk about what's on Michel-Paul's easel, but more importantly, the art auction. So I'm Dave Hayes and
I'm Michael-Paul.
Michael-Paul, Michel-Paul.
Michel-Paul. See, I've already
whatever we want. He can be you do you, buddy. So the first thing we want to talk about is Vision Hallowell's Recovery and Resiliency Fine Art Auction, which is going to benefit the Hallowell Community Flood Recovery Fund. And thank you for putting so many words in all the titles, Vision Hallowell.
Flood relief.
We've got this auction going on, and we've talked about this. And Michel-Paul, what's the latest development?
Well, the latest thing is I made a quick phone call to them and asked them if they wanted to show all of the art here in the studio so people can drive by. I'll put it in the window. So unfortunately, I didn't have enough room in the window, but I do have 4 of them here, and our neighbors were kind enough to let me use their windows. So I have 3, 4, 5 paintings over there next door. Aren't those great? So there's a Chris Cart right there. And yeah.
Let's start here. And so we got Chris Cart's, I believe it calls it Rhythm.
Yeah.
And I actually have the Bidding Owl. This is available on Bidding Owl. And I created a identity, and I am fighting a vicious bidding war.
Oh, good
as
for you.
we speak. But so you can go to Bidding Owl, and if you go to the studiowindow.com, I have a page for flood relief, and the link's up here, or will be up here. You and I can't see it, but it'll be up there in a second. Okay. And you can go to that page. The flood relief page has a link to this art auction. It also has a link to, you can just go give Vision Hallowell money for this fund.
You can just make a donation, sure.
Right. And then I've got all the GoFundMe pages for the different places in town. So I made this one page for it. But so we got this up, and so Chris Cart, Rhythms number 12, 27 by 27 charcoal. The starting bid on that's $240. No one's bid on it yet, interestingly.
I'm surprised, yeah.
Yeah, because it's Chris Cart. And then you have Piano Stanza by Ed Lehman, a 18 by 24 acrylic on paper. And that is also waiting for that people are bidding on that. The current bid on that is $200.
Wonderful. Yeah, he's no longer with us. He's passed. So
yeah,
it's a cool piece though.
And then we got a lot going on here in this window. We got Bruce Mayo's guitar
that survived the flood from Easy.
Right. Now Bruce Mayo donated that himself, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
And so that's really cool. And that is waiting for a starting bid of $200.
Okay.
Then what else we got? We got Jen Cart. I really like that.
It's beautiful. It's a watercolor. It's framed. It's gorgeous.
Yeah. And currently the bidding is at $205 for that. And there is action going on there. And then we also have
the Perch.
The Bird and the Perch by Bob Verrill. Just a 13 by 13 colored pencil drawing. The current bid is $20 on that.
He came in here yesterday to deliver it to me, Dave. So I met him for the first time. What a great gentleman. And it's a great little piece of art.
We have your painting, which is, what is the current bidding? You're at $330.
I think I'm at 330.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. You're at 330. And that's a really nice painting. We've covered that before. But we also have this really interesting wood handmade lamp by Kieran Kammerer, who's, woodworker extraordinaire of Hallowell. And that puppy is the right there. You have the 2 highest bidded items right there. Yours at $330 and his at $300.
I think his
Um,
value is 300, so it's there. So, but you know what? If you
he's
saw it in person, I'm hoping that we're gonna get a lot more money for that. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's a
Oh yeah,
beautiful land.
and I mean he's really
Yeah.
the deal. And then we have I got to meet this woman, right? Who Christine Sullivan, right? Got
Yes,
to meet
Christine's.
this woman. I love her stuff. It's always boats um and the current bid on that is 120, which is a really good deal. Someone really needs to bid that up.
Yeah, it's really beautiful too, and I need to get her in the studio. I met
You
her again this week. I'd met her a long time ago, and yeah, her work
yeah.
is real good.
And then we have Carol, and of course I'm bidding on uh, Carol's item there, and I recently sent that up. That should be. I'm waiting. Usually, I get sniped as soon as I bid. Like within a couple hours, I get an email telling me. But I just put that over 100, and
Oh, you did?
so
That's the fun part. That's the fun part, though, is to watch it go. You know, the bidding go up.
oh yeah, I don't know who I'm bidding against, but I'm starting to play mind games. I'm like, I'm going to wait a while. But the whole point of this, of course, is that we're trying to raise money for the flood
Exactly.
relief fund, and so we may be joking about it, but this is a lot of really interesting art. There is you're missing the Bruce Mayo painting, right? It,
Yeah, there's a
the,
gentleman that is donating a painting that he
yeah,
has of that was done by Bruce Mayo many years ago. So
right.
we don't have that
Venus,
one yet. And then there's another one called the Waltz
Waltz
of
of the Flower.
Flowers,
Yeah, by
which
Linda Murray.
yeah,
So you're missing two, and there's been. I mean, people are bidding. Someone's bidding on the Bruce Mayo Venus watercolor, and I like the Waltz of the Flowers. By Linda Murray. You can go see it. It's a really nice. A nice piece, and that's waiting for a starting bid of 120. So that's what we got going on. You people can go see in your window, and you can benefit the Hallowell Community Flood Recovery Fund. Like I say, if you just go to the studiowindow.com, don't forget the hyphens. But if you go to the studio window, I have the flood relief page, and you can get to whatever. And if anyone knows about a GoFundMe or another place that I should add to that, please let me know. But
wonderful.
hey, all right. So I guess before we leave the art auction, we should add if that it is going to go till March 1st. They've extended it to March 1st. And are you going to do something to celebrate this? Do I understand?
Yeah, I think well, we're hoping to have an artist reception here. The last so it would be the February 29th,
Cool.
which would be the night before. Leap year. That could be good luck, right? I'm thinking about having a social in here with inviting the artists that have provided pieces for the auction the night before the auction closes, and maybe have some wine and cheese and have people, meet each other, and people can come in and do last minute bids. So you're going to have to stay on your phone and watch your bid now that you got another 2 weeks to go.
I know. Especially, I may be in Alabama at that
Oh,
point. So,
wonderful.
I do have a day job. So cool.
I
But I
know.
can't wait for this. And so, a lot of great things happening. Even though it's a lot is being driven by a very bad thing that happened.
I know.
But it's Hollowell, man. They don't. You can't keep a good city down.
And it's one of those things, man. Disasters, for some reason, seem to pull people together.
Yeah.
So, and let's hope it lasts for a while. This town's great, and they've been great, and we're looking forward to doing more.
Enough about other people. Let's talk about what's important. That would be you. Uh,
Oh, I don't know about that, but thank you.
well, this is sort of an us thing, right? This is another one
Right.
of these pictures and here's a picture I took of an eagle that is on a boom island down by Browns Island, which is if you go from Hallowell to Gardner, that's the island that you see, and it has the out in the river. and it has the electrical. It's
Oh,
dominated by
that's the
this.
one you and I went around on with your
Right.
boat.
That's where we go
Okay.
around, and the eagles love to live there, and the eagles have built nests up in the power
Oh.
in the towers.
Hmm.
And so here's an eagle on a log that's caught up on one of the boom islands, because of course there's upstream and downstream. There's a set of boom islands for this thing. And so this was something I took. This picture, I just didn't like the background. I got the railroad tracks in the background, and honestly, if I move the picture a little, you can see I'm starting to get the retaining wall to the
Right.
trail in that picture. And so, to be honest, I have been less than thrilled. I was not happy. And then so what? Let's see what you've done. You've decided, nevertheless, it doesn't suck enough. You shouldn't paint it.
No, I wanted to paint an eagle, and you
And so
know,
here we got, and that's what you're working off, because I cropped. The point is, when I
right.
matted that thing, I tried to crop out the railroad tracks, right? And so you've got that, and so I don't know where this was in the painting process, but I've
I
got,
think it was the very beginning.
and here's like the first thing you said, and I always say it develops like a Polaroid. And here we're going to see, right? So we start, and then you get a little more detail. Looks like you kind of got the wings out a bit on there. And then definitely, and you're adding stuff into the foreground.
And light. I mean, it was a little. I just like to have a little bit of like doppled sunlight in there. So
Right.
I'm
It,
making that up as I go. So the sun's coming
I'm
from
just
the
saying,
left. Yeah.
it's Polaroid developing. There we go. That's probably the first time I've been able to kind of say. And here you've added in the foreground, you've added in some more interesting vegetation,
Yeah.
uh, and because that foreground, there's nothing there. I'm like, I mean, as a photographer, I can't do anything about it. Hell,
Hmm.
I couldn't even get over it. I was in the boat, right? I can't
Right.
even get over to it. But so it's looking great. How do you feel about this?
I'm liking it. I was having a tough time at when you don't have the sun hitting this your subject matter, and you have to
Mhm.
do it out of mind. It's a little difficult, or you want to get it right. So I'm just working on it, and I'm almost done. I think worked a lot on the wood and the eagle yesterday.
Mhm.
I think I was trying to give it space underneath the wings so you can see the back, and the same with the wood where the eagle is standing. I've been working on that a little bit. But I'm happy with it. I've never done an eagle before, so
It
I'm
looks
happy.
good,
Thank
and
you.
I do have to say that one of the things, I've got, once you're done with that eagle, if you ever want to circle around, I've got these two eagles in a tree, and I've shown you that picture, and I have one where it's a juvenile eagle, right?
Oh,
Because
neat.
juvenile bald eagles don't have the white, right? And so
Okay.
people actually for a long time thought they were another species of owl, and by people I mean Audubon. But for a long time people thought, because it takes them 4 years to turn, and
Oh, I didn't
the
realize it
thing
was
is,
that long. Okay. That's
yeah,
neat.
and they are actually bigger, and so I have two of them. But the bald eagle, or the more mature one, is kind of turning around and talking to it. And I was like, I hadn't really looked close at the picture. I'm like, well, that's actually kind of cool. And
It sounds
so
like a cool composition. Yeah, I'd have
it's
to.
got kind of a quirky to it. Yeah. So
I vaguely
uh,
remember that, but I'll have to look at go through your
yeah, well, I've
photos.
never shown you that one, because
Oh, okay.
I've had another one that I've done, and I've made like T-shirts of it, but yeah, not this. This one's kind of cute. So I'm digging the Eagles. I'm getting
Good.
my Emma Rose story I'm working on. I decided to have a whole Abby the Eagle, and she lives down on this island, and so basically you're painting Abby the Eagle there, so that's cool.
Well, that'll
So
be the name of it, Abby the Eagle.
well, I don't know if you need to go there, but But yeah, so this is great. So just a
Nice.
quick check-in. Big important thing was the art auction.
Yeah.
But so is this done, or are you going to do some more?
You know, I might put a glaze on it to see what happens with it.
Yeah.
I'm liking the effect of it. I'm gonna look at it once we stop this today. I'll give it a final look over. They're never done, Dave. I mean, I can put it up on the wall, have it framed, and then look at it and say, oh, it needs more of this, more of that. Um, but I want it to be about the eagle. I want the center of it to be your focal point. So I think I've got that. I'm happy with it. We're usually, especially with like any sort of animal that I've done, dogs and cats, and now I've done some birds, I've done some cardinals, but you really need to be on point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And for me, anyways, and the feathering, I was trying to get close ups and I'm happy with it.
Cool. All right. Well, just a quick in between, although it's almost as long as a normal
I
one,
know, and there's a
but
lot of other things going on in town that we
we've
can
got a
talk
lot
about.
going on, and
Yeah,
I've just and so I didn't mention earlier. I'm going to have to put it over the thing. The art auction's going until March 1st, so they did extend it
March 1st. Yeah.
to March 1st. So that's a key thing. All right. Well, hey, Michel-Paul, you take care,
Okay, you too, Dave. And stay
and we
tuned, people, because I might do we're thinking of doing maybe a wine reception the night before the auction closes here in the studio. I just mentioned that to Cam, and she
cool.
loved that idea. So I'm hoping that if we can get all the artists together, or as many of them as we can, and we'll do a little meet and greet here at the studio before the final bids. So
Great.